After I got my last waste or value video done with Hades, I was excited to play the next game for the series. I went in the Gamepass app once again and started to look for the next well-received game that I'd heard of. And that's when I realized that I've been going about this all wrong. If I keep playing only the games that I know to most likely be good, this series will get really monotonous. It's boring if every video ends with me saying that the game that I knew to most likely be good is, well, surprise, surprise, good. So that's when I saw this tab. The ability to get Gamepass to recommend a game for me at completely random. And so, the new way of doing these videos emerged. Every week, I will spin the wheel of randomness and install whatever comes and play it, and make you guys a video review of the game. Now, I will give myself 3 tries at the wheel, just to avoid something that I know to be bad, or way too mainstream, I think. Oh, and feel free to hop into the comments to suggest some more unknown games on Game Pass that you would want to see me try. The more random, the better. With that said, the first game to come out of the spin was Monster Train. The game page on Game Pass doesn't give you too much to go on, except that it's a card game. Oh god. Card games as a genre spiked in popularity a few years back, first with Hearthstone and then every single other one that tried to be Hearthstone. Some were better than others, but I never really cared for them. The only reason I'd ever play a digital version of a card game besides something like online poker is that I would want to get the same sort of effects as some anime level Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. You know, big monsters acting out their attacks and such. And that's what I thought I'd get when the genre came out, but instead I got 2D or 3D versions of playing cards just slightly bonking each other. So my initial reaction did put me on the defense a little bit, but I brushed off my predisposition and went in with an open mind. And boy am I glad I did. The premise of the game is extremely simple. You're trying to get to hell to relight the fires or something the like. The story is pretty much that, and that's it. But your point is to complete levels where you defend your train from the forces of heaven, I guess? The train consists of 4 layers. Enemies enter from the bottom, make their way up to the top, and on the 4th layer they attack your train's heart. If they kill the heart, it's game over. So to prevent that, you need to deploy your units and cast spells on the first 3 layers. All layers have their separate unit capacity, and all fighting is done in the order that everyone is in their line. As we can see, this is pretty far from Gwent, Hearthstone, or games like such. This more so reminded me of Mighty Party, another card game on Steam. As you defend your train against waves of enemies, you will eventually reach the boss level. If you beat the boss, you can progress on the world map thingy. Between all levels, you have to choose between 2 possible paths. The differences between the paths are the perks and vendors they offer. You have vendors that sell you upgrades for your units, vendors that sell upgrades for your spells, and vendors that sell you artifacts, which are permanent perks for the rest of your run, attempt, hellish train ride, whatever, until you die or win the last boss. These artifacts can range anywhere from god tier to utter trash. Like just look at these 2. One gives you the passive perk of spawning 4 random units of yours on the 2nd floor every time you start a level, completely free of charge. And the other one makes you apply a stun to an enemy whenever you would cast a spell that would send them between levels. I can tell you, that is not often. This is a bit too heavy on the RNG here, boys. The second one is pointless, and I will be angry every single time I get it as a random chance item because I could have gotten something so much better instead. For example, a subscription to the channel to show your support. And while you're down there, click the like button. Thanks. Then you have caves where you can have any of a handful of different encounters, where most will give you something of use and some are just a waste of time. Pits that let you duplicate your cards and then just straight up money or health to your train's heart. Oh, and a way to get rid of cards from your deck. From there, you just continue on the same, beat a level, improve your deck, go to next level 5 times, and you fight the final boss. If you beat him, congratulations, you completed a run. If you die, you start from the beginning. It's a simple gameplay loop, but if you didn't notice something yet, let me break this down for you. When you start a run, you get to choose a main faction and an ally faction. These determine the cards you'll be offered. From there, you get to choose between 2 random artifacts to start with. Then you get some cards at random to start with. Fight your way through your first level where the enemy grouping will be chosen at random. Beat the level and get the ability to choose between 3 random cards for both of your factions. Choose between 2 paths of perks where the perks and vendors offered are chosen at random. If you have a cave, that's a random boon. If you get an artifact, that will be chosen at random. If you use a vendor, their stock will be chosen at random. And carry on with this template times 5. So as you can see, this game is pretty much an RNG simulator cranked up to 11, maybe even 12. But does that make it a bad game? No, not in a game like this. If you get unlucky, sure, it'll annoy you for about a minute, but by that time you've already started a new run and are possibly fighting with such lucky drops that you'll just face roll your way through the run. And getting to that point where you notice that you're going to absolutely snowball the crap out of this run is so much fun. That was an unintentional rhyme right there. Monster Train isn't trying to be the game of the year, and it won't leave you with any sort of special feeling. It's one of those games that you can just freely bang out an hour, 2 hours, or even just simply 10 minutes in. You'll feel whatever the RNG gives you, and then you'll forget about it completely. Monster Train is one of those games that I absolutely would want on my phone. It would be amazing to pick up every now and then while you're waiting for something and just try a run or two. And if it was on a phone, it would definitely go down as one of those games that a few years from now, you try to desperately remember the name of because you'd love to give it a go again. Sadly, it's not on mobile, it's on PC. It's great on PC, but I doubt I'll ever play it again. I am so happy how this experience turned out. And to top that off, there are absolutely 0 microtransactions, except 1 DLC, but that doesn't count. And I almost forgot. It's value. Definite value. Give it a go if you have Game Pass, but that's all for me this time. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked the video, and sub to the channel to show your support. I'm LowFigh, and I'm wishing you a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.